everybody. This is Charles Kelly, and welcome to the Lancer Life. Today, we are at E Squared Cigar Lounge in Wilmington, Delaware, and I am joined by Bill Coyne from Pistoff Cigars. How you doing, Bill?
How's it going?
Good,
Good to be with you.
Glad to have you. Tell us about yourself.
So I've been in the cigar industry now for a little over 2 years. I started out working for a lounge in Pittsburgh, and then was approached with an opportunity to join Pistoff Cigars. I did so a little over a month ago, and so now I'm hitting the road and being a road warrior.
Glad we could pin you down in the Delaware Valley tri-state area. So we're trying a cigar that I have this represents only my second Pistoff Kristoff. What can you tell us about the cigar?
So the Pistoff Kristoff originated from a joke, actually, that someone told Glenn at an event, suggesting that he should name a cigar the Pistoff Kristoff. He thought it was a creative idea. Glenn loved it immediately.
Okay.
So the blend is a San Andres Natural, as opposed to a San Andres Maduro that most people work with. It's an Indonesian binder, and then it's a Nicaraguan filler, which is also a bit unique for us because most Kristoffs tend to have a split fill. It tends to be Nicaraguan and Dominican both.
Right.
This is solely
just
a
pure Nicaraguan filler. Wow, that's different. What should we get in the flavor profile as this thing heats up?
The best way to describe this cigar, I think, is espresso. And the reason I say that is not necessarily because of flavor. I do find it to have some coffee notes to it. But to me, it's mainly because of, when I think of espresso, I think of something that's smooth but strong.
Right.
So this cigar packs a lot of punch, but is sneaky.
Okay.
It's not a pepper bomb.
Good.
The way a lot of people
Nicaraguan
find
fillers. Yeah, that's what you expect.
I don't find this to be a pepper bomb at all. I find it to be like espresso, smooth, but
bold.
Yeah,
no, I tend to agree with that. Yeah, the first one I smoked didn't have the pepper. I didn't even do the research to know what the components were. I enjoyed it, but I did not get any of the pepper. So I'm really surprised that you told me this has a Nicaraguan filler. This is a nice cigar. It's got a really good toothy, chocolatey, glistening wrapper. I mean, the wrapper, you can tell from looking at the wrapper, there's some flavor. If you look at the video here, you'll notice that the pigtail has already been pinched off. But this is a nice cigar, very even burning, I noticed. Good balance, and my description of balance is a cigar that doesn't dry out your mouth, but it doesn't also require you to spit in a platoon every 5 seconds, right?
Right.
Yeah, so really good balance.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few hallmarks just of Kristoff in general that I think is worth mentioning, since you mentioned most of our cigars are pigtail. There's one exception, is the Cristiano line.
Okay.
Most of our cigars have an unfinished foot.
Okay.
Some people will call it a shaggy foot.
Yeah.
We generally go with unfinished because shaggy typically means it's filler that's sticking out. In our case, it's a uncut wrapper.
Okay.
Again, the exception being the Cristiano line.
Okay.
And then there's two things that we do that I think makes us even a little more special. One thing, our bunching technique, we use what's called N2 So
Could
a
you
lot
describe that?
A lot of cigar companies, what they'll do is their fillers will be folded like a book or an accordion. In our case, the fillers are rolled into straws and then they're bunched from there. Padron uses that bunching technique a lot. There are some other companies that do it. We do it exclusively. So all of our cigars currently on the market that are long filler cigars are bunched in that manner.
What's the benefit of N2
The benefit of N2 is it allows you to pack a cigar more tightly while still allowing a smooth draw.
Okay, good airflow.
So it's good airflow. Like I'll find that frequently our cigars put off less smoke
Okay.
from the foot than many others do. It's a mixed message about if that's a great thing or not.
Okay.
Some people really like when there's smoke like pouring off of the foot of the cigar because it looks attractive.
Yes, that's true.
The downside is that means your cigar's smoking itself.
Got
and
it.
I like to smoke the cigar.
Ah,
I don't want it to smoke it.
very good. Okay, never knew that. Learn something every day. So, talk about some of the things that you guys released at IPCPR. Did I get it right?
I did it.
Nice. Okay, good.
So a couple of things were, one thing was new for us at IPCPR, another thing was new for us a few months earlier. New at IPCPR was a cigar called the Vengeance. The Vengeance actually possesses a lot of similar qualities to the Pistoff.
Okay.
It uses the same Indonesian binder.
Okay.
It replaces the San Andres Natural wrapper with a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, which has been really popular right now. There's a lot of cigars using that Connecticut broadleaf. And the other thing is the filler is a more traditional for us split filler.
Okay.
So it's Dominican
and Nicaraguan. Okay. Okay.
I encourage people to try it. It's a solid medium plus.
Okay.
It's going to look scarier than it actually is because that Connecticut broadleaf is a very dark wrapper.
Oh, okay.
And but it's a solid medium and lower on the strength scale than this cigar is.
Okay. And talk to me or the viewers about those Coronas. You guys moved into a new Vitola.
So the Coronas are actually a return for us.
Oh, okay.
But the issue with our Coronas before is the price point was too high on them. So it struggled to find a foothold in the market because a lot of people are price-based buyers. So they're looking for a good value.
Right.
The Coronas were a questionable value in those people's opinion at the time. Now, not wanting to get into price specifics because it's so varied. I understand there's people going to be watching this from
all over the
various
country,
different states. So the reality is I can't get to a specific price point. However, would be the cheapest Vitola by far for us in our standard lines. As of right now, there are 3 Coronas currently available on the market. Our Connecticut, our Habano, and the original Maduro are all available in that Corona size.
Also with pigtail, nice size. As I was explaining to you when we met last week, the Corona is kind of a new favorite Vitola for me. I fell in love with it last year from another brand, and I find myself really enjoying that cigar. I think previous to that it was a Lancero.
Yeah.
The Corona is kind of a Lancero with less commitment.
Yes,
so,
absolutely. The reason that I've always been a fan of smaller Vitolas is because when it comes to flavor from a cigar, the majority of the flavor is coming from the wrapper and the binder.
Right.
So when you're smoking a Lancero or a Corona or any of the other smaller ring gauge sizes, so you're talking, usually between 44 and 46.
Right. Ring gauge,
sometimes even smaller, like a 40, depending on the brand in the particular line. But that's giving you a really concentrated look at that binder and that filler, or that binder and the wrapper. With the filler playing less of a role.
Right. Yeah. That's one of the things that I'm starting to really begin to understand. I didn't realize that the most expensive leaf on a tobacco was the wrapper leaf by sometimes a factor of 3 or 4.
Right. So there's a company that I will let remain nameless that released a cigar that's entirely wrapper leaf. It was at my former shop the most expensive cigar that we carried. It retailed at $500.
Wow.
Which is a lot of money.
Ridiculous.
But at the same time, you're talking about you took the amount of tobacco that you would be making numerous other cigars with, and you packed it into one.
That's cool.
And it's not that it's not that the filler or the binder are any less flavorful or any less good as far as the tobacco goes. It's that a lot of it is that it's not as pretty.
Right.
I mean, it has faults in it.
Faults in it. Yeah.
When it is going onto the wrapper of a cigar, it has to be a whole leaf.
Correct.
Like you can't have a crack, or you can't have a hole, or you can't have any faults in it, or else you're going to get a leaky cigar.
Right.
And there's nothing worse than a cigar that
That
doesn't
leaks
smoke
and
right.
doesn't smoke right. Don't get the good combustion rate even all along the line. Well, we're past the introduction here with the cigar. Medium to full bodied or medium bodied, would you say?
I mean, we class now. I like to define things in terms of body and strength.
Mm-hmm.
So body is how I describe the flavors.
All right, so full body, I would say this is a full body cigar.
I think this is a full body and full strength cigar,
Okay.
in my opinion. Now, I think we're a little early to be determining strength at this
Okay.
point. I'm just saying from previous experience.
Got it. Hasn't
So-
quite heated up there, but this is, number one, not a pepper bomb.
No.
My eyes aren't bulging out.
No.
They're not tearing.
No.
I don't feel like I need to eat a steak dinner.
Right.
So those are some of the gauges I
Yeah.
use to determine that strength. This is a really tasty cigar. Little slightly earthy, more of the cocoa, coffee, espresso flavors, slight leather, no cedar. I didn't
Nope.
get cedar, but there's a little bit of that cookie spice somewhere
Yeah.
hanging around.
Yeah.
Is that right? That fair?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the thing is that the interesting thing to this is, so there's a way that when folks are reviewing cigars or folks are really paying attention to flavors, something they'll do is retrohale.
Mhm.
This is something that's probably more familiar to people that are cigarette smokers than people that are used to smoking a pipe or a hookah or even new cigar smokers. And what you'll do, I'll demonstrate it here, is you'll inhale, and then instead of exhaling through your mouth, you'll exhale through your nose. Like so. And what that will really do is, if there is pepper in a cigar, typically that's where
That's
it'll
when you're
make
going to
itself
get it.
very
Yeah.
present.
Yeah.
In this cigar, it's nothing. It's very smooth, even when using a retrohale
Right.
technique.
Yeah.
So I think that's the mark of this cigar, not having a pepper note to it, which to me is an all too rare thing in fuller body cigars.
Right.
Because I find a lot of fuller body
Can't
cigars to be
retrohale. They'll
very,
tear you up when
very
you do that.
pepper heavy.
Yeah.
And that's a flavor that some people really enjoy and some people don't. Especially people that are new to retrohaling, they do
Right.
it for the first time. And if it's something that's like our Habano is a fairly spicy cigar, with having both a Habano and then a Brazilian Sumatra binder. That's a spicy combination.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good combination. It makes for a very flavorful cigar, especially in the Corona. But for somebody that's never retrohaled before, if you
That's a tough-
retrohale that, whew,
Yeah, that'll catch up to you.
bring tears to your eyes.
Okay. So, Pistoff Kristoff. We're enjoying this here right now at E Squared Cigar, Wilmington, Delaware. Not North Carolina. There's a hurricane going on down there right now. But thanks. Thank you for joining the Lance Life.
Absolutely.
And thank you
Hey,
for
thanks so much for having
participating.
me.
We
Absolutely.
appreciate it. See you all next time.
Have a great one.